What's up? I'm OBG. So what are my top 20 ryes for the year 2022? Let's jump into it. Now, when it comes to rye, there is a lot of choices out there. So I've made my top 20. There is a lot of budget options out there, and also there's some mid-tier stuff, but there is also some really rare, expensive things that you can still find out there if you have the budget for it. So let's start with number 20. And that would be the Old Overton Bottled in Bond. Now, this is just a classic brand. It's been around forever. It's made by Jim Beam. This is 100% rye, and it's aged for a minimum of 4 years. And this is bottled in bond. So the proof is at 100 or the ABV is at 50. Now, this comes in liters and it retails for only $30. This is just a classic rye that you need to try. When we talk about beer in a shot, well, Old Overton is the reference point to that. This is the classic Pennsylvania hardcore rye that everybody absolutely loves. Number 19, Rittenhouse Bottled in Bond. Now, this falls in the best value category since this, of course, is bottled in bond, meaning it's aged for 4 years and it has a proof of 100 or an ABV of 50. This is a long-standing rye that really outpaced the whole market. You really can't beat this for the money. You're getting really good rye whiskey on here, and if you're trying to make classic cocktails, this is an absolute no-brainer. This is a must-have behind your bar. Number 18, Sazerac Rye. Now, this is the original rye. You really can't go wrong with this one since this is made by Buffalo Trace. Now, we don't have the mash bill since Buffalo Trace does not release that, but the proof on here is 90 or an ABV of 45. This is the original rye. When we talk about rye, this is the first brand, Sazerac Rye. I mean, they even have a cocktail named about it called Sazerac. And the base for it is, of course, Sazerac Rye. This is $30, and if you see a bottle out there, you should buy it because it usually flies off the shelf pretty quickly. It is a little sweeter, but this is just an absolute classic, and it is an absolute must behind your bar. This is just an amazing, amazing rye for the money. Number 17, Wild Turkey 101 Straight Rye Whiskey. Now, when we talk about rye, this is a staple and a must. Since you're getting 4 to 6 year old rye, that is, of course, 101 proof or 50.5 ABV, and this only retails for $25. Now, this is made by Eddie Russell. I mean, when we talk about legends in the industry, it doesn't get bigger than this guy. Wild Turkey is just a monster of a rye, especially at that proof for $25. This, again, an absolute best value. This is a must. Number 16, Old Forester 100 Proof Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey. Now, this is made by Evan Hill. This mash bill is 65% rye, 20% barley, 15% corn, and this is aged for a minimum of 4 years in New American oak that is charred at level 3. This retails for just under $30. Now, this is an absolute must. This rye is so good for the money. Old Forester just stands out when you look at all of the ryes out there. And again, Evan Hill just produces amazing stuff. This is one of my favorite big distillery when we look at the distilling market. This is a must buy. Number 15, Elijah Craig Straight Rye. Now, this mash bill is 51% rye, 35% corn, 14% malted barley. This is aged in New American oak, charred at a level 3. This is aged for a minimum of 8 to 12 years. This has a proof of 94 or an ABV of 47, and it retails just under $35. Once again, Evan Hill just destroying. I mean, you're getting 8 to 12 year old rye in there for $35. This is absolutely crazy to me. I mean, seriously, this juice is so good for the money. It's a mind blower. Number 14, High West Double Rye Whiskey. Now, this is a true rye since the mash bill on here is 95% rye, 5% malted barley. This is aged for a minimum of 3 years. This is all MGPI whiskey that is bottled by High West Distillery. This is only $35. This is still worth the money, and this is going to give you an insight on what almost 100% rye whiskey looks like, because there's not a lot of that out there. A lot of these ryes have high corn base and high barley base. This is a must for you to try. Number 13, Knob Creek Kentucky Straight Rye. Now this mash bill is 51% rye, 39% corn, 10% malted barley. This is aged for 9 years in new American oak that is charred at level 4. This has a proof of 100 or an ABV of 50. And this one retails for $35. Now, this is made by Beam Suntory, aka Jim Beam. This is just crazy. 9-year-old rye. Yes, it's high in corn, but it's still 9 years old and it's only $35. If you can find this, this is an absolute must. This has been one of my favorites for a long time. At the same time, you get that high quality proof and it's just so damn delicious. I just love Knob Creek products. Number 12, Woodford Reserve Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey. Now this mash bill is 53% rye, 27% corn, and 20% barley. This enters a new American oak cask that is charred at level 4. This has a proof of 90.4 or an ABV of 45.2, and it retails for just under $40. Now this is made by Brown-Forman, aka Jack Daniel. Now this is really good quality and it's a really standalone rye. Yes, again, not super high in rye, but the quality of the juice that is in there is just really, really good. Number 11, Basil Hayden Dark Rye. Now this is a blend of Kentucky Straight Rye, Canadian Rye, and Port. And this is made by Beam Suntory. Now this has a proof of 80 or an ABV of 40, and this retails for $45. Now this is a little bit off the beaten path since you're getting some Kentucky Straight Rye, Canadian Rye, and some Port. And you're probably wondering, like, there's Port in there? Well, under Canadian law, you're allowed putting 10% of the whole content in the bottle, any fortified wine. So Madeira, Port, sherry, that is included in there. So if you're looking for something a little sweeter and very sweet, that is a go-to for you. Number 10, Whistle Pig Piggyback Rye. Now this mash bill is 100% rye and this is aged for a minimum of 6 years. It has a proof of 96.5 or an ABV of 48.25. This retails just under $45. This is a real winner. 100% rye is hard to find and 6-year-old in there. And if you haven't explored Whistle Pig as a brand, this is a great entry level rye to really see the quality of juice that they produce. Again, it's not that expensive and this is gonna give you a real insight on what 100% rye actually looks like. At number 9, Stellum Rye. This is 95% rye, 5% malted barley. This has been aged for 5 to 6 years. Now, this is an independent bottler, so they buy the juice, but they put serious rye in there, and it retails for $55. This is one of my favorite independent bottlers out there. Stellum just turns out amazing juice. I did a review of a bunch of their stuff not long ago, and I'll put the link at the top. This was so good for the money. They do a bunch of cash strength. You really got to chase this brand down. It's really worth all of the money that you're going to pay for. Number 8, Frey Ranch Straight Rye Whiskey. This is 100% rye, and this enters a new American oak barrel that is charred at level 4, aged for 4 years. This retails for $60. Now, this is a smaller distillery. It's located in northern Nevada, and this, of course, is my hometown. This is a big brand here. This is really a brand that you need to pay attention because in the future, this brand is really going to stand out. And again, 100% rye here. Hard to find, no corn, really worth the $60. Number 7, Rare Breed Barrel Proof Rye. Now this mash bill is 51% rye, 37% corn, and 12% malted barley. This is aged for 4 years in new American oak, charred at a level 4. The proof on here is 112.2 or an ABV of 56.1, and this one retails for $70. This is made by Wild Turkey, and for $70, you're getting barrel-proof straight rye whiskey that has been aged for 4 years. This is worth all the money. Yes, you're gonna have to put a little water in there to open it up, but once you've done that, this is just so good. Yes, it's high in corn, but again, you can compare the differences if you go and buy 100% rye, like the piggyback from Whistle Pig. Number 6, Russell's Reserve Kentucky Straight Rye Single Barrel. This mash bill is 75% rye, 13% corn, and 12% malted barley. This is aged for 6 years in new American oak that is charred at a level 4. This has a proof of 104 or an ABV of 52. And yes, the proof will vary since these are single barrel straight rye whiskeys. For $75, you're getting a real insight on the quality of the juice that they're doing. There is a lot of rye out there, yes, but this is still a real staple. You'll really enjoy this straight Kentucky rye. Number 5, Peerless Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey. Now, this one is 61% rye, 31% corn, and 8% malted barley. This is aged for only 2 years in new American oak that is charred at a level 3, and it enters the barrel at 107 proof. Now, this retails for $85. Yes, I know, $85 for 2-year-old rye? That doesn't make any sense, but I can tell you, Evan Hill owns this brand, and Peerless has been a real cult whiskey. Everybody is chasing these down. These are so delicious. And yes, they're hard to find at the same time, but if you do, you should definitely get a bottle. At number 4, Barrel Craft Spirit Seagrass. Now, I did not find the mash bill on here since Barrel Craft Spirits is an independent bottler, meaning they buy the juice and bottle it. That said, there's no age statement on here, but it is finished in Martinique rum cask, Mumsey Madeira cask, and Apricot brandy cask. It has a proof of 118.4 or an ABV of 59.2, and this retails for $100. Yes, I know, $100 is a lot of rye, but again, cask strength, finished in 3 different types of casks. This basically won everything this year. This is such a good whiskey. I've had it several times and I cannot get over how complex it is. And yes, for $100, that is a lot of money. At number 3, Leopold 3 Chambers Rye Bottled and Bond. This mash bill is 80% rye d'Abruzzi and 20% malted barley. This is aged for 5 years, and there is some barrel variation since this is the greatest rye out there. If you want to see something amazing, go to Leopold Brothers' YouTube channel. Check out the whole story, how it took him 5 to 10 years to read and understand how they used to make rye whiskey back in the day, and then he went and built these 3-chamber pot still that is just insane to me. I know that this is completely crazy, but Leopold Brothers is by far one of the best distilleries in the country and is the one that you need to buy as much stuff as you can from them, because believe me, these whiskeys that Leopold Brothers are cranking out, they are just mind-blowing. The entry barrel in there is only 100 proof, meaning the barrel doesn't have a lot of influence onto the rye, and it's just nothing like that is out there. It's just on another level. It's one of my favorite ryes out there. Of course, at $2.50 a bottle, that's complete insanity, but it's just amazing. At number 2, Michter Single Barrel Straight Kentucky Rye Whiskey 10-year-old. This mash bill is 51% rye. The rest is made up of corn and malted barley, and we really don't know the mash bill. It's been aged for 10 years in new American oak that is charred at level 3 with a barrel entry of 103 proof. The bottling of this is at 92.8 or an ABV of 46.4, and this retails for $170. Now, when I say $170, that is really the entry level on the market when it comes out. You can't really find this under $350. Michter's has gone up in price dramatically. Everybody is chasing this down. And again, low barrel entry, that usually produces some amazing rye. This is a real steal. If you're looking for something for friends and family that you want to impress, or a special occasion, I mean, you're still spending $350. And my number 1 pick, the Thomas H. Handy Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey. Now, we don't know the mash bill on here since this is made by Buffalo Trace. They don't release any information about how the barrel is charged, but we do know the strength, and that would be at about 125 proof. Now, this is really a cult rye whiskey. This is a go-to. Yes, I know it's gonna retail 500 to 800 easily when you get a new year that just came out for like 2022, which is the release that's coming up this month. But other than that, if you're trying to buy older stuff, well, you're looking at way more than that. But this is just one of the craziest, most cult rye whiskey out there. If you want to spend crazy money and just lose control, well, this is the choice for you. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoyed my top 20 list of the best ryes out there. Again, if you have any questions, leave a comment below. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, my friend, please remember, stay sober. Peace.